I want you to be aware of this thing in investment called entropy. Entropy is a physics concept, okay, taken on a literal sense. But on a figurative sense, entropy refers to a process of degradation. In investment, you can also call that as there's a downtrend, right? So downtrend, there's not something good. So the trend that is descending into a state of disorder, a state of uncertainty, and then there's a state of chaos, or there's a state of randomness. I want to give you two examples of how to explain this so-called entropy. The first concept is a bit easier, and because it has nothing to do with investment, but it has everything to do with money. It's called the white versus blue collar. White collar job meaning that generally office jobs are considered as white collar, professional jobs, doctors, lawyers, accountants, engineers, IT administrator, your salesperson. A blue collar job, carpenter, even the plumber that you call to fix your pipes, one that do your house renovation, electrician and all that. Most of our parents' time, they are in a lot of what we call a blue collar job. It's a skill, yes, a skill that can earn you money, but blue collar job is a skill where you normally do not have like high academic qualification, for example like a degree or diploma. Hence, you end up in jobs that, fixing cars, open a hawker store and you are selling your wonton mee or your nasi lemak. You are doing things like electrician, fixing electrical appliances and all that. And don't get me wrong, I have high respect for this kind of jobs because, the world still need that, even though we are in a world whereby, the IT and artificial intelligence rule supreme. But artificial intelligence cannot really fix your leaking pipe. Back in the days, our parents says that if you don't study hard, you're going to end up doing blue collar job, which is not glamour. So they teach us all to actually take what we call as a white collar job, sit in an aircon office. So over time, more and more people study all those to a degree, diploma, and they get into a lot of these white collar job. And they say because white collar job actually pays well, especially work in multinational company, compared to what people thought, our parents thought blue collar job doesn't really pay that well. Hence they say that don't do blue collar job, study hard, and then you get into this profession so you are set for life. And every parents that I know, regardless of any race, any family, they want their kids to be in, even white collar job parents want their kids of course to be in a white collar profession. Blue collar job parents even want their kids to be in a white collar profession anyway. So over time, that more and more people, study, embark on a white collar job, study something like social science or political science, study history, be a lecturer and all that. Subject that people study in the university, it doesn't really have any kind of practical application or commercial value, or very little commercial value, because the job opportunity out there is limited. So even though you can say you are a white collar career, but a white collar graduate, but the thing is you can't find any job, right? Which is the irony of things. As time moves by, because back in the days our parents want us to get into white collar job. The reason is because the blue collar profession there are so many people that are not really educated to your university college level, so they do a lot of this blue collar job. White collar job is actually, I know not many people have this university degree, so therefore not many people have this white collar job like doctors, accountants and whatnot. That's why these are the jobs that is preferred because less you can earn more. But now we are in like 2020 and whatnot, right? And that there's this over supply of graduates in this traditionally white collar career like accountants, engineers, or even doctors. That in Malaysia there's oversupply of doctors, right? People who graduate and they cannot get a placement as a medical officer in any government hospital to practice. There are more white collar graduates than white collar profession in the market out there, and because of that, this white collar profession doesn't really actually pay that well anymore, right? You have like even if you're a programmer, a software programmer, a program developer, just earn like starting salary like 2,000, 3,000 per month, which is really not that much. But on the conversely, now that the things have changed, right? Because what we call is entropy. The more you do it, everyone, the trend was to go on a white collar job. Because of that, there's oversupply. So now there's a trend of disorder when it comes to chaos and uncertainty when it comes to white collar profession. There's oversupply of people who do that, and they cannot get a job. But for blue collar job now is in high demand. Let me ask you, how many trusted plumber or electrician that you can trust to actually fix whatever things that broke in your house? Chances are not many. Maybe you have one and two, but most of the time you have to ask your friends like, hey, how do I find people like that to actually fix my kind of thing, right? Because even if you are a university graduate, even I'm an engineer, it doesn't mean that I know how to fix my fan, my broken fan, right? Or fix my leaking pipe and fix my aircon. You need someone who are skilled in that. Like your car, right? I mean, obviously the guy who fix your car, they are not university graduate, but they know how to fix your car. But I don't know how to fix my car because I'm not trained to do that, right? And that is why they say the blue collar job, yes, the nature doesn't change, but it's in demand. And you go to those countries, like if you're in Malaysia, that you go to Australia, this kind of blue collar actually is in demand, and they charge very high. If you call them, to fix something at your home, they actually can make real good money compared to, if you have friends that graduate in Australia and all that, they are so-called accountants, but they are not able to get any job because there's just no job opportunity out there for accountants, right? Because if you don't have big multinational company there, basically there's only so many accountants that you need in a company. This is example as entropy, people just don't realize, the more you do things and the more because you follow the herd, and then you come to a point whereby it's saturated when you reach entropy, so a degradation process when a white collar job having a university degree and being in a white collar job just it's nothing special anymore. So how does it relate to investing? Now in investing, when you do not have when you have zero knowledge, when you just start out, it's likely you're going to lose money because you're going to make stupid mistake, right? But once you have that certain kind of knowledge, that actually you can perform kind of well and all that. But when it comes to an extreme level, a lot of people thought that the more they learn about investing and the more skillful, the more money they're going to make. They put in double the effort, double the return, and to a certain extent that they aspire to be like a full-time investor, full-time trader. Now, in investing, it's not about how much you know or how good you are, because your opponent or the one that you're trading against, most of the time in today's age, is no longer a human anymore. They're all bots. Programs and artificial intelligence is making all the investment decisions. When it comes to investment, it doesn't mean that the more you know, the more you do, the more you practice, the more time you put in, the more skillful you think you are, you're going to get extraordinary results, because there are people or not even non-people that you are trading against. And investment, for someone to actually make money, someone had to lose money. And most of the time, if you are one man sitting in your room making the decision, thinking that you know everything, you have a few monitors, you monitor all the news, you can still lose a lot of money. And I haven't found anyone that actually can crystallize and actually say this better than someone that I follow. This guy is called Patrick. He talked about investing, he's ex Google, right? US Silicon Valley ex Google engineer, to have lost 300 over USD in stocks trading alone, because you've been there, done that. The way he actually deliver, and based on his experience, and the way he actually makes sense of how you really can or cannot make money if you go on day trading, what he said about day trading and how he lose a lot of money, and to re-emphasize from what I said.